a generous gift of life that I received from my organ donor. But they leave God out of the equation.
Wow.
How can you talk about hearts, kidneys, lungs, you know, organs, and don't talk about the creator of life at all? You don't glorify him at all?
Right.
I had a problem with that.
Right.
Right?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
so that is why it's just so important to me to share these transplant stories, not only the human aspect of it, but the spiritual part where God is glorified. Because I saw so many miracles while I was in the hospital, Kevin. It was
Wow.
just the
Okay.
Lord just showed himself.
Stay right there with that. Those of you that are just tuning in, this is Let's Talk Caregiving with Kevin Milburn. I am live with Miss Vinnie, who is she's giving us, dropping us nuggets. I just want to tell you guys to tell your friends to come on in, and get these nuggets from Miss Vinnie. She dropped a nugget about paying attention to your health. Pay attention. She's dropping nuggets about her story, her heart transplant story. She is the host of her own show, guys, that you could watch. But those of you, please share and like. She's still dropping nuggets, and oh my goodness, this is going to be life changing. She's a part of our Caregivers Conference on this Saturday, and so there's different portions in the conference, but we have a panel, and we have Miss Vinnie is on that panel with a few other people who really are gonna, and this is like the life stuff, and I waited to put the life stuff towards the end of the conference because there's so many people. We deal with life stuff. We deal it as it comes, and you don't know, but I want you to know that Miss Vinnie's story is a story of success and many prayers and faith, and she's here to tell her story. And so this is what this is about: bringing community together, bringing our villages together, sharing our stories. I understand stress, and I lived in a place of stress. I for those of you who don't know, I cared for my mother when my mother in an early stage of early onset dementia. She was in her 50s. And it was hard. I was a young man at the time trying to do what I knew to do because I didn't know. Who knows when you get when you get cards dealt you. So I'm going to talk about that stuff on Saturday at the conference. Okay, so go back, Miss Vinnie, because all right. So Miss Vinnie also talked about broken heart syndrome. I never heard that before, and you always hear the cliche. Or a person dying of a broken heart, but I hadn't heard it in the context of a broken heart syndrome and the string that whole thing. And I think people probably haven't heard it in that way either.
Oh, absolutely, it could kill you.
Wow.
Too much stress. We were not created to stress. That's why the Lord said, "Cast all your cares upon me." Right.
Right.
We're not created to carry all of that. And so it affects you. It affects you physically. Stress can affect you physically, and it attacked my heart. Yeah.
That is amazing. And so you went through the process. So how long, or when did you find out that did you have to go through testing to find out whether a heart or the process of being able to get a heart?
Well, first I had to get placed on the transplant list. Remember, I told you my doctor worked diligently for like a month just to get the paperwork done, and at the same time they put me on medication to keep me alive because, like I said, my heart function was only 12%. So I could not leave the hospital. I was on life-saving medication.
Wow.
And so I waited for 30 days just to get on the list. And once I got on the list, I had to go through all of these tests to qualify to be a heart recipient.
Okay.
And they test you from the rooter to the tutor. You know what I'm saying? They test you, man. They test everything. They even came and pulled out a tooth out of my mouth when I was in the hospital. In the bed. The dentist came to me. That's crazy, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
While I was in ICU. So yeah. And so the whole process from the time I got on the list until I had my heart transplant surgery, it was 6 months in ICU.
And so you lived at the hospital the whole time.
Oh yeah, I couldn't leave. I could not leave the hospital. And
Wow.
I heard Code Blue every single day.
Wow.
Every
Wow.
single day. It was difficult. It was very, very, very difficult. It was probably the worst time of my life, but at the same time, it was one of the most memorable times of my life. I made a lot of relationships with the nurses and the doctors that I still have today, that are very beneficial to me now that I'm, doing this patient advocacy for other transplant recipients through the
Nice.
television program, over the years. It's been 10 years, and I was a One Legacy ambassador as well, able to
Wow.
share my story with them. I was in the Rose Parade. I've been
Okay,
on.
that's what I was gonna say because I saw the footage. I saw the footage of you at the Rose
I was
Parade.
in the Rose Parade waving,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been an incredible ride, and I never thought, when I was sitting in that hospital room, I never thought that the Lord would turn my life around the way He has.
Well,
And so
you're
I'm just
touching
really
so
grateful.
many people. You're touching. I mean, like you were like the poster child for and like you have your own show that I'm just like, and I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked because I've watched you like behind the scenes and how you have evolved. I mean, listen, you were and you are the designer extraordinaire, and you have designed for so many great people. And not only is your favorite color purple, right?
Yes, yes. I don't have purple hair today.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
do
all
a little
good. It's all
something
good.
different.
It's all good. But yeah, so you have really this story is an impacting people's lives, and every time that we connected on Dr. Zenobia's radio show, and so
Oh
many
no, Kevin,
people.
we go
Oh
way.
no, yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
But,
go
but, but
way.
for me to hear you tell,
Yeah.
and the people on the radio show respond to the story, and even now, even like I said myself, when I think back, I'm like, wow, this is amazing, and it's almost like for such a time as this. I mean, like because we've had both of our own journeys,
Yeah.
and it's when journeys collide, and now it's a village of people with testimonies and stories and encouraging people. One, eat healthy, live healthy, be healthy. You need faith, you need
Um,
physical, all of
no,
that.
it takes all of that. And there are so many people just like me, Kevin. I am not the only one, and that's what I discovered. There's a whole community of people who have received organ transplants, heart transplants, kidney transplants, liver transplants. And we all have individual, unique stories that need to be told because they help
Yeah.
other people.
Yes.
There are over 100,000 people on the transplant waiting list right now.
Wait, 100,000 people are waiting for an organ.
Yes, a life-saving organ. And there's 80,000 of those people need a new kidney, right?
Wow.
And 75% of the people on the kidney transplant list are people of color.
Wait. So you're saying that there are people waiting for kidneys. Okay, so then so that I get understanding. So are in order to receive a kidney, because I think that I've heard, oh, I know somebody. Bishop Norman Hutchins, he needed a kidney transplant, and his wife gave him one of her kidneys.
Mhm.
So I guess my
If
question
you have
is,
if you have a living kidney donor, the wait is not as long. But some people wait 10 years
and so
for
that's for someone to
transplant.
pass to get one, right?
Well, you can be a living kidney donor, or it could be a deceased organ donor, either way.
Okay. And it's a list that they have to put you on, and you have to qualify for it. It's a
Yes.
process.
It's a process. Yes, you get the best physical of life, because they examine you. But we definitely need more kidney donors. But what I am finding, Kevin, is we serve a God who could do anything. I just believe that. I have
Yes.
seen miracles of healing, and so have you. And so my prayer is that God will supernaturally heal and deliver everyone who needs a transplant. That is my prayer right now, because I would not wish this life on anyone, to be honest with you. You know, I'm very grateful that I received the heart transplant, but it's literally bondage to medication. I take 14 medications in the morning and 10 at night.
14 in the morning and 10 at night.
I have to take immunosuppressant medication, and they tell me it's for the rest of my life. And you know how we roll.
Right.
I have a hard time saying that.
All right,
You know?
right. Yeah, I got you. I know.
I do. I have a hard time saying that. I take my medicine now, but I bless my medication.
Yeah.
I bless my medication. I declare I will have no side effects, that it will not cause cancer. You know, all of those things.
Right.
Just like you bless your food, anything you put in your mouth, I bless my medication. And I pray for people to be supernaturally healed by the power of God, that He would restore their health, because I really don't understand, and this is just me, why so many people, why is there 100,000 people on the transplant waiting list? Why? You know, why are people dying? 17 people die every day in need of an organ transplant. Wow. Why? What is killing us? You know, what are we eating? What are we drinking? What are we breathing that is causing our organs to fail? Right. You feel me? No, and so, although, you know, I am an advocate for organ donation, I'm also an advocate for healing, you know, for the power of God to be made manifest in people's lives. And glorified. And that has been the struggle. Because traditionally in the transplant community, they don't, like I said, they don't talk about the Lord. They don't talk about God. They don't talk about supernatural healing. You know why? Because there is millions of dollars in transplant. There's millions of dollars in transplant medication. Do you know that one of my transplant medications costs $1,200 a month? Just one.
Wow.
I take 14.
Wow.
Thank God for my health insurance. If I didn't have health insurance, I could not afford my transplant medication.
Wow. And so, people know that. People need to, because there's a lot of people out there who feel bound, but they're not bound. You know, I think people, you know, for me, I'm a person of faith. And so I believe that I understand, because there's things that we are subject to, but I also believe that there's a turnaround and a shift for those, you know.
And that's my declaration.
Every
single day. Because I did not receive it when they told me I had to take it for the rest of my life. It just didn't register. You know, my faith wouldn't allow me to receive that.
It.
You know, I could not. That did not complete.
Right. That's not mathing. The rest of my life and that's not mathing together.
But you know, God is good, and He provides. And so, like I said, I'm here by the grace of God.
Well, you were listen. I think, you know, it also speaks to your ordered steps, that this had to be, because you are a light and an advocate, and those people need to hear your story. Now you are a show host, and I already told you, I'm like, I watched some of your postings, and I'm like, I can so see her like transition, like regular TV, like you like.
Come on now.
Your look,
you better speak that, Kevin.
You know, like everything, and I think that you have a brand that thousands and millions of people would watch and talk. Like, I'm listening to you, and I would so be like, with my remote, like, it's 3:00, it's Miss Vinnie's on. You know what I'm saying? And so, and let me tell you, I believe like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe like that. And so people not only need to hear your story, but they need hope. You know, and I think that we're hope carriers. You know, I stayed broken for many, many years after. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I dealt with the spirit of rejection because of my father, my mom's divorce, and all this stuff that came just about maybe 2 years ago. I didn't realize, like, oh wow, I have been burdened with something that wasn't mine. And it was deposited in my soul's garden, and I've been living in this place that didn't belong to me. And I had to change my thoughts, my mind, and but there's so many people who go through so much and carry so much. They need a hope carrier like you to tell their story or tell your testimony or say, hey, listen, I don't even let my mouth say that, or I don't even talk, And so I love that, because this is where iron sharpens iron, and we're here to help others. There's sometimes when people go into a certain space of negativity or whatever, and I'll be like, wax on, wax off. I'm not even there. I can't receive that, but
words have power,
yeah. And so okay, so I want to so here we're going to be at the Caregivers Conference on this weekend, and so you have the gift of a son who would be there by your side. And let me tell you something. I was just telling someone today. I said, well, how did you take care of your mom? This is me, mom, and Alzheimer's, me, mom, and Alzheimer's. And they said, well, why? And I said, love. It was love. And I know that your son loved his mama. And I've seen it. I've seen him, and I've seen it in his eyes. And so, tell me about your loving son who walked by.
Wonderful son, Tony.
Wow.
His name is Anthony Owens, and I'm telling you, I would not be alive today if it wasn't for him. That young man. I put him through a lot. When I first started having heart issues, he was only like 21 years old, and when I was in the hospital, he was always be the one to call an ambulance. Like I said, 75 times in and out of the hospital. I would see him. One of the hardest things for me was when he would have to call the ambulance, and I'm in the ambulance looking out the little window, and he's standing on the street looking at me, not knowing whether I was going to come home or not.
Wow.
He did that multiple times, and when I went to the hospital in 2014, I think he was only 23 years old. And when I tell you, I literally put my life in his hands. I gave him my wallet. I said, here. He had everything, and when I tell you, he managed everything.
Wow.
He paid all the bills. He paid, he handled everything. At 23 years old, there was nothing missing, nothing lacking. I came home and everything was just like it was when I left.
Wow.
We were not in debt the whole time.
What a good son.
He managed everything. And, that's a lot of pressure for a 23-year-old.
Absolutely. And I know, and so I can relate to Tony, because I was in my 20s with my mom. And one thing that I admire, or I know, is that my mom always called me her son of deliverance, because the timing that I came in her life, I was unexpected. And so to look in the future and to know that I would have the privilege to serve my mother in such a time of her life, I would do it again. I would absolutely do it again. I didn't know what my life was going to look like. I didn't know where I was going to plant my feet. And that's why I didn't know that he would give me the gift of being able to encourage others in their caregiving journey. And on the flip side of it, as we have the privilege to care for our loved ones, I'm encouraging everyone, don't forget about yourself during the journey.
Absolutely. That's so important.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. I think a lot of times we don't talk about caregiving, and I'm encouraging families, you got to have the conversation. We didn't have the conversation with my mom, because who would have thought she would have got dementia, early onset dementia in her 50s? Because in my family, everybody lived long. My great grandmother lived to be 102. All of their long living folks. So that was the first time for me to like, what? Not mama? Well, like what? What?
Yeah.
And so this Caregivers Conference is to uplift, to encourage people to have the conversation. That's why I'm so glad you're a part of the conversation and a part of the conference, because no one talks about the organ donor situation, or no one really can, like, what do you do? How do you make those steps when if a parent has congestive heart failure, or whatever the scenario may be, you know.
And that support is ongoing, you know.
Yeah.
Him supporting me did not stop when I had my surgery, you know,
Wow.
because transplant life is totally different. Your life is totally changed. You know, like I said, you're taking these immunosuppressant medications every single day, and you know, and they change, you know, your body. They change, you know. I had brain fog for like 7 months. I mean, it's like, you know, they're
Really?
strong medications because it suppresses your immune system. And so, you know, to this day, you know, I still need him, and he's a very big supporter, you know,
What?
in my life. You know, it's very important. And so he has an incredible story as well. But, you know, these are things that we need to talk about, you
Yes,
know,
yes.
and not keep it, you know, a family secret. There are no family secrets anymore. We're all going
Right,
through so much,
right.
and we need to support one another. We need to educate one another. We need to tell our stories to empower one another.
Yes,
And so
yes.
that's why I'm so glad, I'm so excited about this caregivers conference, because you're going to give people the help that they need, you know.
Well, I feel privileged. I feel honored to be connected to so many people, so many great people like Miss Vinnie. I mean, like, listen, you know, I'm excited. So sidebar, I'm excited about your show. I'm excited about where it's going to go. I expect to see you on daytime TV. And I'm gonna be in the audience, like, yes, and with my
We have
class.
to get you on the show too. You've been on my show before, but I want you on set with me.
Listen, I want to sit on set with you. So now, see, the thing that I'll have to stop being, I I don't want to be like in the zone, because I'm like, wow, you know, because like I said, I seen you pictures of you on your set, and when I tell you, I'm like, I so see daytime TV. I so see I mean, like life. Somebody's network is gonna be knocking on Miss Benny's door, because there's
I'm
no one
saying,
like you, and I think the transplant life, there's a world out there who needs to know, and your spirit and your faith. And I think it's a big piece for those. There's somebody waiting in the hospital, waiting somewhere to hear your voice. And so I can't wait to be a part of the journey and the community of people that are going to be impacted by your all that you give, you know. And so I'm excited. Guys, this is Let's Talk Caregiving with Kevin Milburn. This is Miss Vinnie. Wait a minute. Tell them where they can get your show on your network.
it's called About Transplant Life, and we are on cable access television in Pasadena, in Altadena, and Los Angeles County. So if you have AT&T Uverse, you could watch us on Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. We are on twice a day on Saturdays.
Two
And
times.
on channel 32, and if you have Spectrum cable, you can watch us on channel 99. But you could also watch us, this is the good news, Kevin, anywhere in the world via live streaming. And all you have to do is go to pasadenamedia.org, click the link, and boom. Or you could go to my website, abouttransplantlife.com, and click on the link, and it'll take you straight to the channel where you could watch the show. But it's only on
Oh,
Saturday at 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m.
I love that. I'm so excited, because that's exactly what I need. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be looking you up tonight. Thank you very much.
You're
Um,
welcome. And you can also visit our YouTube channel, which is About Transplant Life.
Come on, About Transplant Life on YouTube, guys. Look it up. Go there. Support Mrs. Vinnie and all of it. I see books. I'm getting download. I can't wait. Your books, your stuff.
You're in the
I'm there.
spirit, boy. You're in the spirit right
I'm
now.
there. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. So yeah, again, I'm grateful to be connected. Your story is amazing. You have dropped nuggets on me tonight that I needed. And I'm happy that we're on tonight where people can see and experience you. Listen, guys, Saturday, 9 a.m. at the Carson Community Center is the 4th annual Caring Hearts Network Family Caregivers Conference. I'm your host. I'm excited to be there. I am the a founder and executive director for the Caring Hearts Network. And I can't wait till you guys experience Saturday. There's some great people like Miss Vinnie who are going to be in the house, who are going to inspire you, motivate, and uplift you with their spirits and their stories. Yay! You will not leave the same. You'll come in one way and you're going to leave inspired, guys. I am so excited tonight. Thank you for sharing this moment with me, Miss Vinnie. We're going to be sharing more platforms together. And I'm looking forward to it, guys. We love you. We thank you for spending your time with us. And we will see you Saturday. Replay, share, tell somebody about this platform. And please tell them about Miss Vinnie. Yeah. All right, guys, we love you. And we will talk to you soon. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, guys.